everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about digital minimalism. I am Meg. I am a minimalist, self-proclaimed minimalist. I live in a tiny house with my 2 kids and my husband, so that's 4 of us, in 360 square feet. Minimalism. So minimalism to me means that you are living with less, you are living within your means, and you only own what you need and use. You value people and experiences over material things. So right out of the way, that's what I mean by minimalism. Now there's this new kind of thing creeping into culture called digital minimalism. We are so living in a digital world. I'm in my 30s. Compared to when I was a kid, everything is online. Everything is happening online. All the ways that we're connecting, dating, living our lives, learning. We're doing everything online. You're watching this online, then looking at me in the eyes, face to face, and having this conversation. Now, there's a lot of benefits to that because I can reach and talk to so many more people and relate to so many more people. And maybe you don't have friends in your life or family in your life that practices minimalism and you really just want to connect with somebody that has your same philosophy. And that's why we're connecting. But there is a downside to this whole digital world creeping in on us. There's a reason why a lot of the big social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook hire neuroscientists to help them design ways that people navigate their apps. They want it to be addictive. They want you to spend as much time as you possibly can on these. And once you're on the app, they want to do everything they can. Colors, the way that you scroll, the way that you click, the way that you interact with information, they want you to stay there. It's been proven time and time again that the more time that you spend on social media, the more depressed you can be. The more time that you spend on social media, the less you are activating the imagination parts of your brain lobes. And social media and the internet in general can be highly addictive. Even the blue light that our screens emit can be addictive. So how do we live a digitally minimalism lifestyle? I'm going to talk to you about it. Now, just like any type of addiction or substance or just fun activity, you need to put limits on yourself. You need to develop self-control. And sometimes this means being really harsh and setting hard time limits and hard numbers and sticking to them. So it helps for me personally to set a timer at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. So when I wake up for 1 hour, it would be ideal to have 2, but depends on what time you wake up. 1 hour after you wake up to not look at a single screen. Don't look at your phone, don't look at your laptop or iPad or any screen, including the television. So try to stick to that. An hour after you wake up, no screens. Be with your own thoughts, think about your dreams, drink your tea or your coffee or your lemon water or however you start the day. Do it that way. Connect with the other people in your household if they are awake. If they're not, enjoy a moment of silence with yourself. Now, before you go to bed is actually more important than when you wake up, because the blue light that all of our screens emit, especially phones and laptops, they actually mess up the circadian rhythm and the sleep cycles that you get into as you start to fall asleep. It actually can really damage your sleep. It prevents you from having a really good night's rest. So 2 hours before you go to bed. So my usual bedtime is usually like 10, 11, depending on the day and how much work I want to get done after the kids fall asleep. So set an alarm. For example, I'll set an alarm at 8 o'clock and it says, no more effing screens. I have to be like super harsh with myself. You know your own personality, but I have to be super harsh with myself and say, no more effing screens. And I know I want to scroll through Instagram while my kids are asleep, or like I'm just trying to relax. In my head, I think social media and just like random scrolling through Pinterest is going to help me relax. It really doesn't. It adds to my anxiety. I think it's brainless, but it really is not helpful if I want to kind of take steps down to relax. So 8 o'clock timer, ding, put your phone down, close the laptop, and do whatever you need to do. You can maybe do the dishes, clean your kitchen, fold some laundry, talk to your partner, put your kids to bed, all of that kind of thing. So that's in the morning and at night. Now, you can actually use a lot of the technology on your phone for good. You can actually set time limits on, let's say, for example, Instagram. You can actually set timers in your settings. So when you go into your settings and you look there for set limits, or when you go into your account settings, and it'll actually give you a reminder, you've spent 30 minutes on Instagram today. Click OK, and then close the app. Set whatever time limit you think you need. Personally, I use Instagram for my business, so it is, I'm so ashamed to say this. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. So the limit for myself is not 30. The limit that I put on myself is 55 minutes, and I feel really embarrassed saying that. But that's the time limit that I spend, and I usually hit it. And that's just me being honest. Because I do a lot of my business and a lot of my networking on Instagram. I make some money on Instagram. I do invest time in it. But when that 55-minute number hits, it's time. Focus on something else. I heard this amazing quote from this amazing Instagrammer called Color Me Courtney. And she said, it's called PR, not ER. Now, I've worked in the ER and now I work in the PR world, and there is a difference. If you don't get to finish commenting or posting what you wanted to do in those 30 minutes or 55 minutes, it can wait till tomorrow. It's not an emergency. You can always just set timers on yourself for a limited amount of time. Let's say you really want to watch something on Netflix, or you really want to watch something, people post a lot of videos on YouTube or Facebook. Put a limit on yourself. Say, I'm only going to watch 30 minutes, and that's it. Set a timer on your phone, set a timer on your analog clock, whatever you have to do, and really set limits on yourself. It's going to be difficult at first, but once you start to see the benefits of spending the majority of your time not looking at a screen, you're going to notice that you're happier, you're going to notice that you sleep better, you're going to notice that you start to notice things that you'd never noticed before, like the color of the sky, or right now I'm looking out the window and I can see the fall colors. I live in the Smoky Mountains right now, is where my tiny house is parked, and I can see a mountain top, and I can see the trees, all different shades of green and orange and yellow and red. And, it's so beautiful. And if I was staring at a screen, I would not notice that. And that brings me happiness. You will be happy when you take steps towards digital minimalism. Now, this is a little bit of like a salmon swimming against the current, against the stream, because our world is forcing us to become more digitally addictive, live more of your life in the digital world. So you have to fight a little bit against social norms to achieve this, but it is possible. And if it results in your happiness and your well-being, it is totally worth it. So I would love to hear how you practice digital minimalism, or just how you practice minimalism in general. I think it is such a great practice to just really throw yourself into, especially after the previous generation was so materialistic and so stuff obsessed, and everything was in excess. I love that the Gen X and millennials are really taking steps to just appreciating life and the experience, and not filling their little box or their house with things. So please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more minimalism content. I've got a ton on here. How to get started for beginners. I have tiny house tours, how we built this tiny house, little tiny apartments we used to live in, and apartment tours. I would love, love, love to share all of this with you. Please put a comment below about where you're watching from. I would love to know where you're watching from so we can connect, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.